Hey there, and welcome back to Hold and Modify, YouTube's most poorly produced, underproduced Amiga channel. It's Q, and I'm back again, and with another little short take here. What I wanted to see is if you've watched my prior couple videos already, this is another lightweight video. And what do you see over here? Yes, the Tron light cycle and a 7. Why is there a 7 there? Was that 7 there last time? You should go back and check out the old video and see if it was there.
This computer will rule the world.
All right, so yeah, as you may have figured out, the 7 wasn't there because that's a wall. And I was having all kinds of problems with the wall object in the prior video. It was causing all kinds of crazy freakouts happening on the screen, and in some cases even locking the whole program up. But I had since resolved that situation and gotten that fixed. And actually, if we come over here, we'll go down to this wall. If you look closely here, it says version 2. So yeah, there you go. There's the wall selected now. You can see it there. If we go into the top view and we'll go center up on it, there she is, kind of way out there by herself. She is pretty far out there, but it doesn't really matter because it's now properly scaled, so the whole thing doesn't freak out. And sure enough, I can scrub the animation, and no weirdness, no zippery lines across the screen. And yeah, as you can see here, I was actually able to do the camera move I was discussing in that prior video, which was, this is camera 3 or take 3, no, camera 3 of this sequence that's being used. I have 3 cameras in this shot. So in this version, we would pick up the light cycle coming around the corner, and there it goes. And as we reveal, oh no, it's gonna get boxed in by this tank. And he's screwed, right? So that's going to be fun. So what I wanted to do was render this. Now, normally I would never render on my real Amigas. I usually would fire up the PC or the Mac and take the scene over there and render it, usually with emulation. But you know what? I was thinking, I've spent a lot of time on this 3000. I have a big history with this computer. One of the very first things I ever did to it, the power supply, I opened it up. I opened up a power supply, snipped some wires, and replaced the fan with a Noctua fan so it would be much more quiet. Now I did that with a computer that didn't work because the whole motherboard was fried. And if you look in my playlist, I have a whole Amiga 3000 playlist that covers this 2-year adventure that it took to get this 3000 working. To look back and see everything I had to go through for those 2 years and the money spent, now it's like, oh, totally worth it, because here it is, and it works. I call it my always boots 3000 because whenever I push the power button, it boots. I thought if any computer I could let render overnight, that CPU in there, that 68060 at 50 megahertz 68060 cranking at 100% all night, just like it would have all those years ago, you know, I'm going to do it again today. 35-year-old, 40-plus-year-old, or no, 35 to 40-year-old software and hardware, you know, I fire it up. I let it render. Let's let it render overnight and see what it does. See if I come back and like the top of it's melted or it's on fire. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, it's not hot. It's barely warm. It's fine. It's fine. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's fine. Who's this? Oh, Chris Edwards. Oh. Aha, okay. And that's weird. Why is it not showing Lightwave? Did it crash? Oh, shoot. Oh, okay, all right. Oh, okay. Well, it was just on the desktop. Okay, it was on Workbench, the desktop. Hey, look, it worked. There it goes. I had, saved my images out to the network there. Save RGB images, yep. So we're good to go, and that's awesome. Hey, yay, look at that. All right, isn't that neat? Yay. I'm a terrible actor. I know, you guys, you can see right through me. I had already done this. It had rendered overnight and worked, and I was just trying to recreate the experience. Okay, you know what? Let's stop screwing around with this, and let's import these rendered frames into my PAR, which is crammed into this 3000, and we can see the animation play back in all of its glory. We've been staring at this stupid black and white gray version forever, so I think it's time to say goodbye to this version and look at those amazing colored frames. I'm sure they'll be great. So here we are in the import process, and you can see it's pulling these in over the network where I do render all my frames to, and they're saved as IFFs. Good old native Amiga. So yeah, all this stuff I've been doing in Lightwave, I do try to keep it native to the Amiga format, because this is stuff I'm doing for fun. I'm doing it for the nostalgia, and I keep it over here. Like if I want to do stuff that I might, put up on, well, if I put up on YouTube on its own, or like on another social site, or if I was going to be giving it to a customer or a client, right? I would probably render it on the Windows side or the PC or Mac side, whatever you want to call it, using the modern resolutions and whatnot. For here in the Amiga, I use the IFF format. I use D1 NTSC resolution. So yes, the aspect ratio doesn't work on square pixel displays. That's just the nature of the beast, 1-to-1 pixel versus an NTSC pixel, which is, squished or stretched, however you want to say it. I am using a TV set, but, obviously it's a 16:9 TV set, as I've shown before, set to 4:3. So yeah, I do get a right aspect ratio. Even then, the pixel structure of modern displays, of course, are square, not like a scan gun of an NTSC or a CRT that's going to have the the NTSC pixels, which aren't square. Anyway, that's why I keep everything on this side. I keep it all IFF. I know Lightwave and other programs you can save JPEG, you can save TGA, PNG even. There's all these modern formats you could save in, and I'm only using it on the Amiga, and it's staying all on the Amiga. So we're importing into the PAR here, and that's why IFF is fine. Now, of course, I could load those frames into Art Department Professional and convert them, or programs like After Effects from Adobe and Photoshop. I know people hate using those products because of their horrible licensing system and their really bad support, but they can actually recognize Amiga format still to this day, which is kind of fun. But yeah, that's why I just wanted to mention as I'm importing this, because I need to kill time as it's importing. And you may have seen, oh, he rendered IFFs. Why did he do that? That's why. I keep everything on the Amiga. D1 NTSC, IFFs, old school. That's how we're doing it. If I wanted to render 1920 by 1080 pixel aspect 1, I would, but I wouldn't do it here for the Amiga side of things. I'm trying to keep these things, and look at that. See, I killed enough time and now we can see it. There it is. Should I click play? We got loop on? Yes. Here's the amazing animation, the 3000. Slaved so hard to make for me overnight. There we go. Oh, look at that. And yes, I'm rendering this at, like I said, D1, it's like 720 by 480-ish, and I'm rendering at 30 frames a second. You might be like, Q, why are you doing 30 frames a second? Film is 24. Well, this isn't film, this is for video. It's for TV. Again, NTSC, 29.97 technically, but I'm just doing 30 FPS to keep it simple. Simple math. And as you can see here, there we are. And I'm someone had the comment about the animation. Hey Q, that's pretty cool, man. Really retro looking, and the animation of the light cycle, it's a little abrupt. And my response to that is,
go f yourself.
That's intentional. I'm not going for like the modern Tron movies you've seen lately, or the modern Tron cartoons you've seen lately. I'm actually trying to do this more faithful to the original animation style and look. Obviously, I've enhanced the look a little bit here and there, but I haven't gone over. Like, there's no ray trace reflections or shadows in here. Heck, I'm actually in this shot, I'm not even using shadow maps. There's like no shadowing going on. This is all very simple, so I try to keep it closer to the original film. In fact, even the specular sheen on this tank, I painstakingly have worked on to recreate that and to keep it looking like the original film's version of that tank. So yeah, the reason the light cycle is a little harsh there on its entry is intentional. It's to kind of emulate or replicate the original film's animation style, because they didn't have the benefit of Amigas back then to make Tron. No, no, they didn't have the benefit of just real-time previews and do trial and error, and it would take them a week to even see animated wireframes of a light cycle doing this, right? They just didn't have all that time to keep honing the animation and smoothing it out. So this is kind of going for like that nostalgic retro look. But yeah, I think that turned out pretty darn good. That's camera 3 of this particular sequence rendered. And I think that's going to work. It would be edited together. I wouldn't just use the whole thing as you're seeing it. It would stitch together with the other two. But hey, that was exciting. You get to see that. Okay, well, again, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a fun little romp there. Got to see the Tron in action. Got to see the PAR in action again. And the import, I kind of mostly made you sort of sit through in real time as I blabbed. So unless you cheated and played at XX speed or just skipped forward, you missed all that excitement. But yes, the 3000, what a tank. Rendered all night like a champ. And yeah, the average frame time was like 4.5 minutes a frame. So this amazing quality animation from Hollywood, yes, at D1, 30 frames a second. I did regular low anti-aliasing, no motion blur, of course. And it took like 4.5 minutes a frame on a 50 megahertz 68060. If it was 100 megahertz 68060, it might have been like, what, 2.5, 3 minutes a frame? I don't know. And of course, if it was a Pi Storm or a Pi Amiga or a WinUE, it would have been even faster. But that's not the point. The point is this Amiga slugged it out all on her own, did it, and didn't melt down. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm done with this video.